Hello guys, Matthew here and welcome back again to the TechTick YouTube channel. Good build quality chassis with out-of-the-box design and reasonable pricing are becoming more popular and more available as this particular market rapidly expanded for the last few years, and hiding behind this cloth-like bag is an example of just that being the InWin's brand new 303 model. This is a so to speak entry-level model of their higher-end chassis in terms of having a tempered glass side panel and some other cool solutions. Right away on the back you can notice one of it, based on the fact that we have a bit different cutout layout, where you can see that the power supply is put on the top but with a horizontal orientation. Moving to the front, you can see a pretty decent array of 4 USB ports, 2 of them being USB 3.0 and 2 of them USB 2.0 ports, and squeezed between them audio in and out jacks. Right above that there's the InWin's white glowing LED logo, a big power on switch and a smaller reset switch. Top side is completely closed off, there isn't any mounting points for fans or radiators, you'll see later on why, while the right side panel with these cool looking intake holes will give you a little bit of a hint on what's going on at that upper half of the chassis. Going to the most interesting part of this model, that being the left side panel, you can see that we have a big tempered glass cover. As we can probably all agree, it looks really cool and adds to the chassis' already very simplistic and clean looking design philosophy, while keeping the build quality on the level with almost strictly metal and glass construction. Of course, it's a natural fingerprint magnet and ideal for CSI forensic training, although this one has a really dark coating, so you won't see them that often, unless you pick up a certain angle or lighting. Also, as you can notice, the mirror effect is really strong and it's hard to see inside the chassis itself unless you are in a bit darker room or if you put components which have LEDs or an LED strip itself. Opening up that side panel is really easy as you basically have one big dedicated release button to press, and after that you can just pull the panel away. Finally, taking a peek at the inside, you can see that we have a pretty interesting layout which is everything but not common. Here the bottom part actually acts like your usual front side of the chassis, which is, as you can see, completely shut off in this model. That's the reason why you will down there get a dedicated space for installing up to 3 120mm fans or 360mm radiator in theory if you're going to use a micro ATX or a mini ITX motherboard, although that's not officially stated. On the other side of that bottom outside of the chassis, you can see that there's a dust filter for that area, which is easily removable even with the chassis standing up, thanks to the 2 big plastic pedestals on each end with rubber contact points on the bottom. Moving back to the inside, you can see that we have plenty of room for ATX motherboard installation with 7 expansion slots, unfortunately without any thumb screws, above which we have one 120mm pre-installed fan. We also have a lot of bigger and smaller cutouts around the motherboard tray for easier cable management. Too bad they didn't put any rubber grommets. On the right side of that you can see 2 dedicated 2.5-inch drive mounts which are easily pulled off with just one thumb screw. Next to the top mount on the left side you can see another spot for installing that bottom mount plate in case you want to line them up next to each other. Top third of the chassis is reserved for this separated but yet very opened up compartment, which you can get to from the other side by removing the right side panel. That's easily done just by undoing 2 thumb screws at the panel's top corners, and after that you can just pull it away just like I did with the left side panel. As you can see here, that top part is capable of taking in 4 120mm fans or up to 360mm radiator together with a power supply on the back in its vertical orientation. Up there you can also hide and tuck away its cables if you want to, although be careful not to get in the way of the airflow, while in the middle there's an L-shaped cutout together with few smaller ones for routing the cables to the front or to the back side of the motherboard tray. On the left half you will also find 2 drive trays, these being capable of holding 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch size drives. Since 3.5-inch drives are a bit thicker, there's plenty of space between the motherboard tray and the right side panel for their accommodation, almost 2 fingers of free space between them, thus making the cable management job that much more easier. Speaking of the cables, the front panel ones are completely rubberized and black, although some end points have white connectors or aren't covered up to their neck with ketchup color scheme popping out. That's it guys for this time from me. Thank you once again for checking out the unboxing and preview of the InWin's 303 chassis. Feel free to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, it helps me a lot. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about the product, and of course, if you would like to see more content like this, you can subscribe to the TechTick YouTube channel, or you can just check out some of my other videos from before.